Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And we live in an age where there are, I think, extreme bubbles of sheer ignorance, like sheer shocking ignorance. And being an intelligent person isn't really any defense about being trapped in one of these bubbles of sheer ignorance. The people we're talking today, I don't think are intelligent people. Okay, let's be clear, but it can affect intelligent people as well. You know, I first noticed this is an aside. I first noticed this, I think, 2017? Where 2018 maybe. It was when people were freaking out about the border crisis in the south of the United States. There were all these centers they built to put the bazillion people trying to enter the country illegally in while they process them in some way or form. That was racist. That was deeply racist. So anyway, this person who I knew, who I quite liked, I really had everything. They post comparing these facilities to as was very popular at the time, to those camps, those fun little camps they had in Europe, in Germany in the 1930s, made by those very, very naughty social democrats. Those are special camps where you had to think, you had to concentrate really hard at. So I was like, yeah, I'm a Jewish guy. I'm quite aware about that period, that period in history. I used to work at Yad Vashem, the Israeli Holocaust Museum, I think that's what they call it. So I know it very well, and I just found that comparison to be just so deeply ignorant. I mean, yes, those camps did have buildings. And so do the places on the southern border, and so does Disneyland. It was just so stupid. So I wrote this thing like going over all the differences. Like, you know, they have food at one, you have medical facilities at one, you have education, you have all these things at one, and at the other you didn't. But most importantly, you had the opportunity not to be in one of these places if you're illegally entering the country. All you have to do to avoid, legally avoid being put into one of these places. These illegal immigrant centers, the immigrations, whatever they're called. All you have to avoid is not enter the country illegally. That's it. That's the bar you have to make. There were no opportunities for Jews to avoid being put in the camps. So you had to concentrate hard. There was no legal opportunity. I mean, you could hide. That's what, like, hide or run, I think were the only two things that you had. You certainly didn't have anything quite as easy as just not illegally entering another country, right? That was no. Anyway, so I was amazed by that bubble of sheer ignorance. And it's got worse. It's got worse. So we're going to be looking at a couple of examples today. And it's just, you know what? Well, why we're looking at it? Because it's just incredible. It just blows my freaking mind how stupid people are. Before we get into it, prove that you're not stupid. Prove that you're not a dummy. Hit the like button. Hit the like button today. Make a rabbi happy. You know, I haven't used that pitch for a while, but make a rabbi happy. And, you know, doesn't even involve a hand job. Just have to go and click the like button. Like, share, subscribe. If you're already subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. That'll be fan. That'll be double dozy. Our ongoing war with Google carries on. I think they're winning. I think they're bigger than us, right? But hit the subscribe button anyway. If you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. Comment. Let me know what you think, even if it's like, they're idiots. I mean, that's a good comment. Like, share, subscribe. Go check out my Indiegogo. Go check out my Indiegogo, which we are finally in the trench run to finish, right? I can't do it this week because it's the Jewish week of mourning. The 9 days they call it. So I can't do it this week, but next week after, from Monday onwards, I am wrapping up this campaign. I got this whole, like, advertising strategy done. We're going to call it The End of Days. Get in now. Anyway, so what is this campaign? You got 2 graphic novels. You've got biblical, Bible stories, atheists, creationists, rationalists, and rogues. Awesome. Freaking awesome. 220 pages long. You can beat whales to death with it, but I recommend you don't do that. And also, you probably can't beat whales. Maybe baby whales, but don't beat a baby whale to death. That's just wrong, right? Don't do that. And also we have this book, The Imperium, 105 pages long, a love letter to telefantasy of the 1960s. It's not Judge Dredd. It's the one thing. It's Doctor Who, James Bond. Oh, James Bond. That was what I was going to say. James Bond, Emma Peel, Monkey in a Spacesuit, The Black Slave from 2001, Bit of Prisoner, Bit of Thunderbirds. Freaking awesome, wonderful by Dominic Rancho. You get a whole bunch of extras. You get both books. This is going to be a poster. It's right up some pin-up. It's going to be a poster. I'm like 115, but I'm like 2 backers away. Essentially, I'm 2 backers away from making this into a poster. It'll be what, A2, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff. Go check it out. It's in the video notes. In the video notes now, and it's wrapping up. And it's awesome. Awesome, as am I, and as you will be. If you're not awesome yet, you will be after you back it, right? That would be my wholehearted recommendation to you. Right, let's look at this story first. This story features Dean Cain, who apparently I didn't know this is of Asian descent, and you know, I think the Asians are the number 1 or number 2 group being targeted by hate crimes. Number 1 is always the Jews. Hey, we're always number 1, baby, in America now, and they're being targeted, by the way, because the people in their insane bubbles of ignorance keep saying how much better Asian people have than black people, and so and they basically get black people to beat up Asian people, so much so that I think 80% of the violent crimes, not racist crimes, not racistly motivated crimes, but violent crimes. The entirety of violent crimes is black people attacking Asian people. So go figure. So apparently Dean Cain is of a protected status. Doesn't really matter to the likes of Heather Antos. Heather Antos is one of the truly, truly awful editors that destroyed the American comic book industry, and they did it so gleefully. You know, it's there was this thing where they posted a picture of the women had taken over Marvel, and they went for milkshakes to celebrate a female editor from the past, who was actually competent and they weren't. You know, so the female editor from the past didn't destroy the industry like Heather Antos did. So Heather Antos, one of the ways she destroyed the industry was with her incredible bubble of ignorance. So what is this incredible bubble of ignorance that we're referring to? So Captain America just released a book of lots of different Captain Americas, and I think the only thing that unifies them is they really hate America. Right? They really, really hate America. They hate American values, and they just think it's a force for ill. Why do they think that? Because they live in a bubble of ignorance. Yeah, these people, it's incredible. I watched this clip last night from Chris Cuomo's CNN show. It was about 10 minutes long, and it had a guy on, I can't remember, who was some official challenging some election results, and it got to a point where he says, so the incredible thing is they both think they're completely right and sane, you know. So Chris Cuomo's like, from the point of view, this guy obviously knows he's lying. Obviously knows there's no problem with the election. So why is he doing it, right? Because he can't conceive of there being a problem. So the guy kept saying, there were all these ballots that were counted that weren't legal. They didn't have the signatures verify them. And Chris Cuomo was like, it's been passed by all the officials, and there's no court that agrees with you. Which everything he said was true. Everything. So his point was, okay, just pull the ballots and prove you're right. But let's just look at them and prove you're right, right? No, they won't do that. They won't do. They will tell you, oh, this guy said it was okay, so it must be okay, even though I really want what that guy said to be true. So I'm not going to check to see if he's telling the truth or not. There's a sense because they live in bubbles of ignorance. So they think America's a bad place, right? But bottom line, I can't think of a world empire that was more of a force for good in human history. Not saying America's perfect, right? Not saying America's perfect. Listen, I think they discontinued the McRib sandwich, which again, that's verboten for me now because it is the evil, unclean meat. But boy, before I was religious, That Mac rib sandwich, freaking awesome, freaking awesome. Other than that, America quite good, quite good. You know, they ended slavery. I mean, I think Britain ended slavery. America was a close second. So anyway, Dean Cain, who played Superman quite famously in Superman, what's it called again? Lois and Clark? Yeah, it was called Lois and Clark, not Superman and Lois, which is a new one, which is really good. I tell you, I really love that Superman show. He wrote this piece in the Daily Wire saying, I am so tired of wokeness and anti-Americanism. Superman actor blasts new woke Captain America. Yeah, because Captain America basically says, badly written, by the way, has this long diatribe about how awful America is. I want to tell you. So Heather Antos comes on with from her bubble of complete ignorance, right, and says, he knows Superman wasn't American, right? So Heather Antos' bubble of ignorance, because they are filled with such self-righteousness and self-confidence, which is a good thing. Self-confidence is a good thing. Didn't think this one through. So a little bit later, she tweets, all those reply guys, because there has to be guys. It can't be women who disagree with it, because, sisters together, please. No, that's why say Suits was an immigrant, therefore American in regard. Totally agree. Yeah, so she's saying immigrants aren't American, basically. If you immigrate to America, you're not American. Listen, if you immigrate to America illegally and you don't integrate into the country in any way, shape, or form, you're probably not American, right? Now, it doesn't really matter if there's millions of you. If there's like millions and millions of you, you're still not American. You've got to integrate to the country that you're move to. And if you don't confess. Like, look, me, my Hebrew is terrible. I moved to Israel about 10 years ago. My Hebrew is terrible, but my kids all speak Hebrew. I get by. But I don't go around saying, you all should speak English to suit me, right? I know I'm the one that's wrong, right? But anyway, so Dean Cain doesn't agree that makes you American, though. So now she's putting on her insanity onto it. What? Why? Excuse me, America is a country made up of immigrants, right? I understand you use that as a way of justifying having open borders and saying people shouldn't immigrate, they should just move in, right? No, America is was a country made up of immigrants that decided to become one people, right? It become part of a greater dream. I don't think Dean Cain has any problem with that. I think he has problem with people coming into the country illegally and not becoming part of America. So by his standards, Sue isn't an American. So, oh my God. Like, how much insane backpedaling do you have to give? Look, Heather, darling. I say darling because I know she hates being called that. Heather, darling. Yeah, you're a moron. You're a moron. We all know what's going on. We all see it, right? Did it go on any further? Yeah, this is just basic commentary. Good-looking guy, that Dean Cain, I have to tell you. So then I saw this article, and I thought, together, this makes a video. Because I just watched this movie yesterday. Black Widow star David Harbour says he doesn't know that there's anyone who would disagree with socialist ideology. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot less now because they've been murdered. I mean, have you heard of Cambodia, maybe? Pol Pot? No. All the people who starved to death in Russia? No. Any of those people? China? Well, China wouldn't disagree because they would be killed, right? Do you remember when they were all, welded into their homes? To stop with the spread the spread of corona. Do you remember that? Yeah, they may just a little, just a smidgy widgy woos disagree with socialist ideology. David Harbour was the best thing in the Black Widow movie. Probably because he wasn't a chick. I mean, even though he's a pussy, he wasn't a chick. It's just a shame, really. If they made his character a heroic character, which they didn't. He was there to be a doofus, to be a stupid male, not an evil male, but a stupid male. It would actually pull the movie together quite nicely. Anyway, let's look at his insane bubble of ignorance. Taking a page out the ideology playbook of the Black Widow character, the communist-loving Soviet super soldier Red Guardian actor David Harbour recently shared his disbelief that the idea that there's anybody who would disagree with socialist ideology. Again, I think freedom is a good thing. Yeah, I have to tell you, I think freedom is a good thing. I think having like a social conscience, having a social net is a good thing. But I think freedom is a good thing. I don't think freedom should be given up so people won't have to take any responsibility for their lives, which is essentially the I think the exchange one makes when they go headlong into socialism. Or you're a moron with too much money and you don't understand how things work. I think that's more the case in Mr. Harbour's case. And I tell you, best thing in the movie, Mr. Harbour, and I like Stranger Things too. Harbour offers his opinion on socialism during the recent interview with The Guardian. Oh, really? That bastion of fair reporting. Telling writer Alexei Dugins. Oh, that doesn't sound. Hi, my name is Alexei. Do you like socialism? Yeah, I don't know. I'm joking. Alexei Dugins may be as American as Americans come, or English. Much like his Red Guardian character, I don't know there's anyone out there would disagree with the socialist ideology. You keep saying it, mate. It doesn't get any better. Not getting any better. If you work at Starbucks, okay, now finally he's explaining his pure idiocy. If you work at Starbucks and make coffee, then you should own it. Exclaim Labour, you're the one making the coffee. Exactly. So what you're doing at that point, you're right. You make a coffee, but you don't own the coffee because you didn't own the coffee grounds. You need to be able to own the coffee grinds and the cup and the milk and the sugar, whatever, to make the cup, so it's yours, right? What you're doing right there is, yes, we agree you did the labor to make that coffee. What's going on is that person is agreeing to exchange his labor for money. He's exchanging his labor for money, and then they can exchange that money for goods and services themselves. You see, that's how it works, right? Your idiot idea that this guy should go and steal some coffee and make it and it's mine now. Do you have anywhere to live? No, because I just have a coffee cup which I stole. Moron, mate. You're a freaking moron. Again, bubble of sheer ignorance. However, Stranger Things star was not above admitting, okay, that the fact that the implementation of these things has led to some of the deepest fascism in our society, like America, for example. I mean, how long has it taken? We're in July now. 6 months. 6 months to go from a free country to a totalitarian nightmare. About that, right? In our society. So people assume that communism means fascism to a certain degree. Okay, you know what it is? Is criticism of Israel anti-Semitic? Theoretically, no. Theoretically, you can criticize anything. Can you criticize a Jew without being anti-Semitic? Absolutely. Of course you can. Is any criticism of Israel anti-Semitic? Yes, basically all of it. Right? Like basically all of it. It's all disingenuous bullcrap with wrapped around the idea I don't like Jews and I want to find some way of justifying that. That's the entirety of all the Israel criticism that I've ever seen, and I've seen pretty much all of it. It's all basically saying I don't like Jews and I want an intellectual reason to not feel like a bigot. That's it. So yes, can criticism of Israel be not anti-Semitic? Yes. Is it? No. So practically, can communism not be fascist? Yes. Is it? No. The only place I can think of that communism actually worked, and it worked for one generation only, and it kind of fell apart for the second generation, was the kibbutz movement in Israel, which was basically communist, right? It was, and people didn't own their homes. Basically the second generation. The first generation are miserable, generally speaking, because they want insight in later life that they could give to their children. Their children are miserable because they didn't take. They left. They all left. The kibbutz movement is over. Essentially, you can go there and you can like stay on one and pick some, I don't know, grapes or something, and then have breakfast. But essentially, it's over. So yeah, you can have socialism without. And don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that capitalism is the greatest thing ever, and this has no problems whatsoever. Capitalism, American capitalism, has done more to improve the standards of living of more people than any other system or economic system in the history of our planet. And that's just factual. Listen, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. If you have come up with something better, let me know. Okay, but that's a terrible thing he added. Before going on to explain that his ideal of socialism was not a fascistic society where people were punished for stepping out of an ideological line, but they are in every socialist country, but rather more akin to a kindergarten type society where we share things. So the problem with socialism in general is it disconnects reward from effort. Right? If you put extra effort in, you get greater reward. Under socialism, you don't. So the people just don't put the extra effort in. Under capitalism, people know that if you work hard, you get nice stuff. That's why in the 80s, people from working class backgrounds in England suddenly became very, very wealthy. And they worked very hard because they had the opportunity to make their lives insanely better, insanely more affluent for themselves and for their children. Yeah, and that's one of the greatest aspects of capitalism. One of the worst aspects is generational wealth. If you're wealthy and you hand it on to your children, the children, generally speaking, end up being assholes, right? And that's every system has its failings. That's why something between the two is probably a good idea. That's my ideal society, asserts Harbour, a kindergarten where they wipe your own ass for you. As opposed to this world where we're hunting and killing and destroying our own people, our own personal hoarding, our own personal greed. Mate, I reckon it's your personal greed, quite frankly. I think you're paid way too much to pretend to be a shit superhero, right? I just think you're paid way too much. And generally speaking, if actors were paid normal wages, right? If an actor earned $80,000 a year, I mean, like successful actor, $100,000, $200,000 a year, as again a successful actor, maybe they wouldn't be such massive assholes. But they don't. They earn millions of dollars for movies, or they earn nothing and they have to be waiters and waitresses and live on the poverty line, unless they decide to suck some producer's cock, some disgusting producer's cock, and that way they can get a job as third billing in a sitcom, right? And again, I'm not saying that's a good situation. I think your Hollywood society, your entertainment industry society is sick, and I think it's evil. But that's not the world, mate. That's you, okay? That's just you. Fine. To that end, in the same interview, the actor also noted that he had quit social media following the realization that he felt like nothing more than a cog in a greedy tech machine that isn't geared towards beautifying humanity in any sort of way. Yes, but most people need it for business networking. That's really like the best use for Twitter. Anything else, not so much. Not so much. Yeah, I've long had a theory that Twitter, social media, the algorithms running it have become self-aware, and they're trying to destroy us by making these algorithms make us try to kill each other. We're basically living in Kingsman. Kingsman is real. Okay? What do you make of David Harbour's outlook on socialism? He's a moron living in a bubble of sheer ignorance, paid by, fueled by his bloated salary, which he doesn't deserve. And that's the other thing. They all went to socialism. They all know they have way more money than they deserve, and they feel guilty about it, right? Yeah, no, destroying the world with your insanity isn't really going to help anything. Let us know your thoughts on social media, or comment below, or I'll just make my video. I'll just make a video. Who wrote this? This is Spencer McCarley. Okay, Spencer McCarley. I made my thoughts now. Okay, my name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. Ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.